Liverpool with a lead to defend, and whenever Liverpool have scored the first goal in any game this season, they've always gone on to win every time. Grealish. Looking for De Bruyne. That's very good. He's gone to
Oh!
Van Dijk got in the way as much as anything else.
Salah scored the first goal, by the way. It was a good goal. Good hold-up play. Laid it off. And, yeah, good goal.
Mahrez.
Salah received a really cheap yellow card there. I mean, he kicked the ball against the...
He's obviously keen to get in behind
that. Against the board. But, I mean, that's a bit of a silly yellow card, really. But...
outside of the boot. Gundogan. Here is Mahrez.
Oh. City are playing better, though. They're coming back. Mahrez just missed the target. But a good effort, though. Playing some nice football.
I mean, it's a great little layoff by Gundogan.
I can't call this really because, like, I mean, yeah, I know Liverpool scored an early goal, but it's still early days and it's still end to end. You know, it's one of those.
Still in play, Akanji. Done to Robertson. Now that's not what he meant to do. Putting Kanate under pressure here. Grealish's first touch lets him down.
Cool.
Salah was instinctively scorching after that, and it'd be missed by Diaz. It's a good game now. De Bruyne, Mahrez, outfoxed by Robertson. This is Jota. Pushed by Stones. Free kick to Liverpool. Jota. Elliott's ball was clever. Edison wasn't sure. Flag is raised anyway. Liverpool were offside.
It's Gakpo. And he's made a movement to the ball. He's just drifted in the hope that Henderson might have picked him out. And he couldn't get back in line.
So Liverpool in front here. Let's have a look at what it means to the table. Arsenal will certainly enjoy seeing that with City's games played level by the end of this one. If there could still be an 8-point gap, they would be delighted. And for Liverpool, could they be moving up to within 4 points of the top 4 today? That is as it stands. Stones. Akanji. Manchester City supporters getting vocally behind their team now. Rodri. De Bruyne, lovely. Grealish. Gets it back from Aki. Grealish. Doesn't quite work out for Kevin De Bruyne. And Liverpool relieved to get that one clear.
Yeah, and Liverpool, as we saw at the start of the game, getting more numbers behind the ball that little bit quicker now. Because City have upped it a little bit. Liverpool have had a couple of scares.
We've spoken so much this season about how at times Erling Haaland has to be very patient to receive possession, and he often goes deep into games without having a touch or only one or two. And Julian Alvarez today gets to experience what that feels like. This is Grealish. Aki. The goal from Mo Salah came after 17 minutes in this game. No way through for Mahrez. And Allison unable to prevent it going for a corner. First of these Manchester City have had today. Most of their players towards the back post. It's away by Diogo Jota. Oh, Stones has given it straight to Harvey.
Oh, they're away.
He's inside his own half. Jota's in field of the Egyptian. And Jack Grealish with a critical interception.
That's brilliant from Jack Grealish. And that's a sign of how much he's come on. I mean, I think initially he wasn't prepared for the sheer work rate you have to put in for Pep Guardiola. And there's an example of how his game has come on. That was crucial.
Yeah, good defending.
Liverpool's goal. Jota has come from a counter-attack. Their winning goal in October at Anfield against Manchester City came from defending a corner. Manchester City seem to be extremely threatened when Mo Salah has green grass to run into.
Well, I think as well, we've seen it already a couple of times from Trent Alexander-Arnold, that when you've got somebody with that kind of pace in attack, you don't have to be that accurate with your clearances. You can just boot the ball up the pitch and Salah will probably get onto it.
Here's Mahrez. Gets away from Van Dijk. Couldn't do what knew where Grealish was. Alvarez!
Oh, it's great movement. 1-1. That's brilliant movement. I've got to say, that was brilliant football. It's one each. That's absolute brilliant football. Brilliant football. Brilliant football. You can't argue with that. That was just great football.
Manchester City are back to 1-1, and the lead for Liverpool lasted only 10 minutes.
Well, I think we've just seen another example of the beautiful game. Just wondered again, was there a danger that Mahrez might have had a foot offside at one stage as he collected the ball from De Bruyne? But Gundogan, I think, has been pivotal in getting into those little areas and just linking everything up and making
brilliant, absolutely fantastic goal. That was a brilliant goal.
Eyes only on Julian Alvarez, and it's beautifully tucked away. A beautiful finish.
His first ever Manchester City goal came against Liverpool. That was in the Community Shield in July. Today, starting in the Premier League for only the 7th time. And Julian Alvarez.
It's such an open game, but brilliant open game.
Inside half an hour, both teams on the score sheet already.
They're at it again, and
yeah, you can't stop this. This is just, it's just brilliant. It's just brilliant football all around.
Turned up the volume a few notches inside the Etihad. Offside.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be probably one of the closest games, I think. of the season against like the top teams, but like it's just way open now. City are on top at the minute. City are on top.
There's a challenge and over is there, but it's deemed to be okay. Check complete. No further action. Free kick to Liverpool. And it's Van Dijk, the latest Liverpool defenders of Blair.
Counter-press right up the pitch, just puts them under pressure. It just settles it down.
A good run through. Oh, it's Paul Ball again.
It's slashed away by Canate. That's good play by Jota.
Very open.
There goes Cody Gakpo. Rodri has just been booked as the player has conceded the foul, and the Liverpool players surrounded the referee to tell him that.
Is he going to get sent off?
Put his hands on him just for a split second. Difficult. That's something that you should do when you are on a yellow card. I don't think he touched him for long, but it definitely brought him down.
I suspect the advice from someone in the City camp to Rodri might just be to keep the profile.
I hate that when players go around the referee to try and get somebody sent off. I think, and they're on about sportsmanship. I mean, that takes it takes the piss a bit. I think.
Here's Van Dijk for Liverpool. 9 minutes to play. In a very competitive first half.
Yeah, I mean it's end to end, but like I don't know. I just don't like that bit where the players go round the referee to try and get something sent off. I just don't like that at all. It's very, I just don't like that at all. There's just no need. There's just no need at all.
Salah for now is having a run here against that game. He's got Gakpo in the middle. That's good defending by Stones. And the flag didn't go up, wasn't raised. Here's Alexander-Arnold. Liverpool still looking for an opportunity here. Nathan Ake's header away. And then defended on that side by...
Guys moved across. You didn't think that perhaps Salah might have been offside. But he's that quick off the mark. By the time you've turned your head, this is all about individual duels between players. He was not happy about something. Yeah, he just caught his ear. Alexander-Arnold while he was shouting at the assistant.
That's the Greenish, get up, you twat. Seriously.
A look at that. MotoGP this weekend, the Grand Prix of Argentina. That's to be satisfied there is no... Alvarez. Grealish come again by Alex.
Well, he's gone for the spray and not a card. So yeah, I mean he's not looking to play the ball whatsoever. And he is seriously upset on the touchline and has been for a while here at the club.
First time Simon Hooper has taken charge of this particular fixture. It's always a feisty one. It'll be Mahrez to deliver.
That's actually a poor free kick.
6 minutes of normal time to go into the break.
A really poor free kick. Really, really poor free kick.
Oh, we love a bit of spice, but I hope this doesn't get out of hand.
Jostling for position.
And I think he should be stronger in resisting that, Henderson, and stay on his feet. But everybody wants to go to the floor these days.
9 years. Play will resume. with the Manchester City corner. One back by Robertson, straight to Grealish. Liverpool a little bit careless today with. This is Rodri to Akanji. Bit of space for Mahrez. Van Dijk beating Ruben Diaz in the air. This is Gakpo. No time to think. Elliott. Yesterday by the interviewer, has it felt like a roller coaster? And he laughed.
Oh.
He said, no, because when you go on a roller coaster, you generally have a good time. Which was a funny way to put it. Now,
it's off.
Coming back, Salah coming back to an offside.
Gotta be off, isn't he?
The fact that the assistant waited and then raised the flag long after this. I mean, it's pretty obvious there. You would have thought that it could have been raised immediately.
Well, they said he was on the bench for Brazil's friendly defeat to Morocco last week, which Alisson was not called up into that squad. And Edison might have thought it was his opportunity to start, but it was Waverton who was given the gloves. Robertson. Manchester City.
Yeah, and Gakpo is at times looking like he's playing a midfield role.
Play the ball straight over the top. Straight over the top. That's a great ball. From centre back to straight to right mid, but like.
Yeah, very good block. Gundogan keeps on getting into this type of position, and whether he can, unleash one or whether he can just kind of play it around the corner or get somebody.
Don't know what to think. Don't know what to think. I don't know whether, it's a tight one, isn't it? It's always tight games. Always tight games.
Be careful though on that yellow card that he received a few.
How you doing? If you just joined, welcome in. Welcome to the chat. How are you?
Looking towards Jack Grealish, Canate all over him. too aggressive for Simon Hooper. Here losing out there to Gundogan. In goes Henderson. Salutary first blood for Liverpool, his 23rd goal of the season.
Half time, one each.
Against Manchester City this season, he scored in all 4 matches, but Julian Alvarez is playing for the injured Erling Haaland today with the equaliser.
It is unreal, isn't it? The game, I mean, it's an even game, very even. Both teams going at it. Very hard to call who's going to win.
2023.
And what a start it was for your former club, Michael.
Oh, it was brilliant. What a game we've had here. It was a brilliant goal. Back to front, playing through the lines. Liverpool have been really brave in terms of playing out. And what a finish by Mo Salah. I mean, we spoke about a great record against Manchester City. As we can see here, it's not offside. Times has run well. Diogo Jota, Akanji playing him on there, the bottom of the screen, and what a finish.
And the way the goal came about, you'd seen signs before the goal of the way Liverpool were trying to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this was early on in the game, Steve, and I was so impressed with Liverpool's bravery. Just have a look at this. I'll run it in real time, but playing out from the back, look how committed Manchester City are to trying to win this ball back. But the bravery, this puts manners on a team, this does. This puts manners on Manchester City when they're brave enough to do this. And this was the theme of the goal as well. And we'll just slow down the goal because it is I can't believe how aggressive Manchester City are in many ways. If you look at the back here, they've got 1, 2, 3 defenders against 1, 2, 3, 4 Liverpool players. They're outnumbered. And if you take that line a little bit further, you've got another 2, but then another 2 of Liverpool. So they're outnumbered at the back. I mean, it's really brave Manchester City, right, team?
It is, but once Sean, you made the point. Once this ball comes out to Fabinho, they've got to drop it because he's got time and space on the ball.
City have got to drop.
Absolutely,
because they play an offside. They almost don't play an offside line.
Absolutely. Here. So you can see. So Jota's made a great run through, and Trent is going to be able to find him. And then from there, I thought that City's aggressive press was. It looked really aggressive, but it wasn't very organised. They sorted it out a little bit in the second latter stages, but then Most comes on and scores a beautiful goal. But it just seemed like some were going, Alvarez was going, then De Bruyne wasn't going. It wasn't going in unison. So that's why I think Liverpool were able to break through in that instance.
And a wide player running onto a ball that's virtually a dead ball, the way that Jota set it up. It was a relatively easy finish in a way, even though he's made it look easy.
Mo Salah makes a lot of things look easy.
Yeah,
but I
absolutely.
think the way the ball was positioned, he didn't need too much power. He just had to set it wide of the post, give it enough time to come back in. And he did it perfectly. But on the City press side of it, I think what Dad said was right and what you said was right in regards of the aggression and the areas that they was in. But if you watch Alvarez's run, if he comes more straight down, he blocks that pass to Fabinho.
Yeah.
He kind of comes from the side, which gives that Fabinho a pass. But everybody else seemed to have a man in a position.
Yeah, and now Sean, on the subject of wide players for City's equaliser, before we saw what happened at one end, what about Jack Grealish's role at the other? Is this perhaps something he wasn't doing when he first signed for City?
I think it's something you don't always learn as a winger. You either have it or you don't. But his recovery run to get back here, and I remember when I played that was part of my job. I knew I had to get back, and he's getting that in his game more and more because he did it against Spurs as well when Son broke away. But there was a little bit luck there. Robinson gambled and Kevin got it round a bit. this head to have the energy and the concentration level to put in that ball there. Obviously, there is little bits of luck because it goes through Trent's head, but he knew what he was doing and wanted to do, and he put it on a plate. And for me, he didn't perform in Trent's side that whole game.
Another beautifully crafted goal. Very similar theme.
Yeah.
I think so.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. But I think that there's in this instance, we just saw Jack really burst in the gut to get back there. And I think that when we see this goal, as much as Sean's right with Kevin De Bruyne with this, he gets a nice touch and it is fortunate. But I think here, when we look up here, look at RV Elliott. I think that's him there. So RV Elliott at some stage, once this goes through, Mike, once you run it, right, he has now got to realise Virgil's got to come across because we've seen Andy Robertson's come in and he's taking a chance. Once this goes into him, if we run it, now he has got to recognise Trent's got to come in. He's got to get out to Jack. He's got to do something to stop that. He doesn't do it. He's still not there. And then once we get into this situation, they're kind of at Man City's mercy.
I mean, he could be here, couldn't he? If he recognised it earlier. Trent Alexander-Arnold has got to come across because there's been a problem here. Andy Robertson's gone and squeezed, possibly shut off, and then it's been a knock-on effect. Trent's had to come across to defend it. So I don't blame Trent in any way in this situation.
There's a lot what Sean's talking about. It goes through his leg, but I think that they've earned that luck in the way they've played. But for me, what I'd say to Steve is that if RV shows the same determination as Jack Grealish, they may be able to stop that.
The analysis in keeping with the standard of the game. 1-1 at the Etihad. Jurgen Klopp's only ever won in the league once there, of course, as Liverpool manager. Having taken the league, he's seen Pep Guardiola's side come back at them. What's next? Don't go away.
doing. He gets his hands up, but he gets them off quickly. And I think that's here it is. You look at it here and you think,
that's very harsh if he got a red card for that, to be honest. That's a really hard. That'd be a really harsh decision if he got a red for that.
It is a massively intensive game.
Just even just touching the shirt of your opponent, even though that he hasn't even pulled him down, that would have been a very harsh decision in my opinion. Yes, he's on a yellow. Yes, if he actually literally grabs him and pulls him back, that should have been a red card. But he didn't pull him. He just put his hand on his shirt. So it was one of those really.
Mo Salah away from home. So I think you have actually. I'm going to have a look later and see if he's still got one to go. Right, what are we expecting here? Goodness knows in this second half.
I think it'll be more of the same. I think Liverpool will start better than they did in the last half, and I think they will want to be more confident on the ball like they was. And yeah.
Let's see what happens with Jim and Connor.
It's been a busy first 45 minutes for the officials. Last match as a teenager. He turns 20 on Tuesday. What a fine career he's had already at such a tender age. And here is Elliott winning the ball against De Bruyne. Encouraging Andy Robertson forward. And it's a challenge from Stones that went back off Andy Robertson. And therefore will be a Manchester City goal kick.
Bro, this is going to be one heck of a half. Oh my God!
Expectation, you can feel it in the Manchester City faithful. They want all-out attack here.
Very often, Manchester City gets stronger as games go on. Alvarez in the vision to spot Mahrez here. It's De Bruyne in the middle. Kevin De Bruyne!
Oh, 2-1 to City. They broke the lines. It's 2-1 to City. City and 2-1 up. De Bruyne has just scored the second goal. Ah! Unlucky! Where's all the Liverpool fans gone?
Field pass that played in Mahrez. Free kick to Liverpool here for the foul on Harvey Elliott. Jack Grealish, who's so often on the receiving ends of those. Alexander-Arnold's delivery. Van Dijk won the header. This is Konate. Jota. And away by Rodri.
Too many numbers.
Back in by Alexander-Arnold. Gakpo's first touch is good. Wonderful swivel too, but it wouldn't have counted anyway.
Well, again, the fans have turned on the assistant for delaying the raising of the flag. I think they had their hearts in their mouths for a while, thinking that Gakpo was going to be able to manufacture something out of this tussle. But then ultimately he was offside when it was initially played back in.
As the assistants are instructed to wait until the passage of play has expired. Gakpo did very well to control it in turn, but as the pass was played to him, he was in an offside position. This is Alexander-Arnold. It's been a good battle today between him and Grealish. Konate. Gakpo. Liverpool want to see him on the ball a little bit more. Fabinho's done well. Outside of the boot from Alexander-Arnold. And Jota was offside once more. Liverpool's back four, who are all central defenders, remember, are stepping up together very effectively in the line.
Yeah, Cities. Yeah.
Cities.
Yeah. That was a case in point, but you know, Jota's just taken his eye off momentarily. But you know, back to the goal again. I mean, once the ball was delivered to Mahrez, that's just a wonderful ball in on his weaker foot. The pace, the direction, absolutely perfect. But I still like the fact that De Bruyne gambled. He committed himself to it, thinking that Alisson won't get there, and he didn't.
Now this table makes better reading for Manchester City fans now. At the end of this game, remember Arsenal play later on today, but the gap could be back to 5 points. And remember, they have to play each other yet. Gundogan. Alisson getting down well, but another slick Manchester City attack.
Yeah, and he's been a problem throughout the game for Liverpool, Gundogan, because he keeps on making those runs. into space in that little inside left position.
Manchester City travel to Southampton next Saturday. And it's Bayern Munich here at the Etihad in the Champions League, followed by Leicester, who come here in the Premier League. Those are the forthcoming games. And for Liverpool, it's the start of a very high-profile week. City today, Chelsea away on Tuesday, and then the visit of Arsenal to Anfield next weekend. Aki. Gundogan.
Salah's done a lot of that moving inside, and you've seen Elliott throughout the first half is pushing up on Ake.
Lovely pass. Stones to Mahrez. Here's Rodri. Just unable to lift it over Trent Alexander-Arnold. Stones once more. De Bruyne. John Stones. Mahrez. Great movement. Alvarez. City continue to create space. Mahrez. Alvarez. Blocked by Alexander-Arnold, and it falls on a plate.
3-1.
He's just become a forward for the first time. The German celebrates with the goal that gives Manchester City some breathing.
3-1 to City. Bye-bye, Liverpool. You're not making the Champions League spot, I don't think. City. The Manchesters are going in the Champions League.
Work its way into the box. It gets kind of stuck under Alvarez's feet, and he wants to take it on himself. And in the end, all he can do is just get a shot away. It might have been destined for the corner before Alexander-Arnold got in the way, and it's just the perfect position, isn't it? Right place, right time, and he had the composure just to tuck it away in the corner. Yeah, and I think he merits that, and City are now in command.
Composure is the word. Both Alvarez and Gundogan didn't snatch at the opportunities. And Alisson is beaten for a third time today.
3-1 City.
Liverpool conceded 3 to City in December in the League Cup. They've done it again now in the league. On the day when Pep Guardiola's side hoped to wreak revenge for their 1-0 defeat at Anfield in October. Not over yet, of course. Gakpo. Took a deflection at the end of the corner. Cody Gakpo has seen more of the ball, it feels, in the second half than he did in all the first period.
Yeah, well, he said he likes to drop deep, but now he's actually seeing more possession. But that's what they've got to concentrate on, Liverpool, producing that little bit more going forward. And Diaz has done a fine job to stop him on this occasion.
We still have 35 minutes to go this around again. Fabinho, Elliott, Alexander-Arnold. It's Aki, it's a clear big roar for the Manchester City fans. Mahrez challenged by Alexander-Arnold. Free kick to City.
Yeah, not much of this, just a little bump. Hip on hip.
Manchester City fans.
You're right, Brad. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Thank you very much for joining up. By the way, I really appreciate that. Thank you, mate. How's things anyway? All right? I honestly know what a score line. It's just funny.
It's not been a firing at all cylinders performance from Manchester City, but they have steadily improved.
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. I've been relaxing all weekend. I didn't go out last night because the weather was crap. And today, the weather's been just as bad. So I thought, well, I'll just chill out, really. I do fancy a couple of points. I mean, if I do go out, I'll only go over the road, like, so, you know, cheap enough. And it's just 2-minute walk, but it's whether I could be asked to go outside. I don't know where everybody is today because, like, I've been streaming for a little bit, but I don't know where everybody is.
On Mahrez and Liverpool finding the pace dictated to them now.
I mean, City are playing really well, really good football. It has been end to end, but, like, I don't know, defending's just been awful for Liverpool. I mean, City are just going for the throat. Oh,
Stones and Rodri might have had more time than they realised. Close proximity to each other. Well, it's dreadful from Alexander-Arnold. Almost giving it to De Bruyne.
Yeah, he's had a few loose ones in the first half, you know, up the pitch, and most of them have been on that left foot.
That's nice. Cody Gakpo.
That's a good ball. Come on.
Andy Robertson has a look to see where Salah is. Aki's touch is heavy. Down goes Cody Gakpo. Referee is happy for now, but the VAR will be looking at it in the background.
Ooh, a VAR look.
The referee feels that this is a blatant attempt by Gakpo to make it look like a penalty.
Is Alvarez.
Is it a penalty? Would you say, is it actually a penalty? Is it a penalty then? Oh, it's great, sorry. Is it a would you say it's a penalty?
He's having a stormer. And if he carries on like this, he might well register here.
Do you think it's a penalty?
What about the penalty down the other end? The VAR has had a look. Check complete.
Oh my God!
He's taking a terrible touch, and he knows he's not going to get on the end of it. Akanji's getting there, so he has to try and manipulate.
That's a dive.
It's a terrible touch from Ake as well, by the way.
Good decision from
That's a dive.
Almost an hour play.
He's dived.
Manchester City looking to turn the screw now. Center. This is Grealish.
He's put his leg onto the player's leg, like, to try and, yeah.
Salah.
No, it's not being given. No, it's not. It's not being given. No, they've waved it off. I mean, if that was a dive. I'm not being funny, but you're attempting to cheat to get a penalty. That's disgusting.
Which started in a rather fraught fashion for Manchester City fans. Rosella gave Liverpool
no penalty, no.
It's far more enjoyable to watch now for the home supporters. De Bruyne. Gundogan. Mahrez. Picking out Grealish.
They spread it wide. Grealish has got the ball. Simple pass inside.
Gundogan. Alvarez.
very intricate in the passing.
It's Liverpool are going to get the decision.
Very intricate in the passing.
Some activity around the Liverpool technical area. Roberto Firmino, Darwin Núñez, two proven goal scorers. Jurgen Klopp needs something very special now.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think Liverpool have been having success with breakaways on the counter attack with that pace. Núñez would obviously add to that.
Oh! Oh! God, that was close.
The Brazilian nous to dig his way out of that one.
Against Argentina, too.
Yes. Good Noir. So 3 times.
Man City have had 12 attempts in Liverpool for 5 shots on target for City and 1 for Liverpool.
Goal scored by Mo Salah, the only attempt that Jurgen Klopp's side have been able to muster at Edison today. This is Mahrez. No time to waste for Liverpool now. Shota can't get there. They're trying Liverpool, but at the moment, for Jurgen Klopp, it is just not happening.
I think he knows that the possession isn't great for Liverpool because they've been a little careless in what they're trying to deliver going forward. We've seen 1 or 2 really sharp moves, yes, but overall, it's not been great. And I think this was always likely anyway to see possession stats like is up on the screen at the moment.
Days like this, games like this, teams that go on to win titles find a way of winning them. And Manchester City have given themselves a wonderful platform here. By the time the stoppages are added on, there's still a good half hour to play. Henderson. Elliott. Brave turn by Alexander-Arnold. Manages to elude Julian Alvarez. Is Gakpo. Gets away from Akanji. Aki in front of Salah, but good strength from the Egyptian. Now Robertson. Salah. Not enough elevation. It's going to fall for Fabinho here. John Stones. Up and away by Ruben Diaz. Best bit of pressure that Liverpool have busted in some time. But now they could be in trouble. Alvarez. Well shielded by Konate. Liverpool's body language is good at the moment. It's not a great ball though. Rodri. Mahrez. City will hope to go back to dictating the pace again.
Yeah, but we're seeing an example of the fact that the champions never got too upset about the way things have gone. Yeah, once they went a goal down, they've been there before. They've seen it all too many times. And there was a calm, there was a drive, there was a concentration. And from 1-0 down, 3-1 up, not too much of a problem for them. If Liverpool are to go 1-up against Arsenal next week, let's see what Arsenal's response might be like.
John Stones has done well in this hybrid role today. Riyad Mahrez. Liverpool have a whole host of substitutes preparing to come on. It might be 4 in one go.
They're just passing it around. It's funny. Liverpool can't even get to the ball, and Liverpool, City are just basically passing the ball around everywhere. I mean, it's just quality funny.
Mahrez, Stones.
They
City toying with Liverpool.
must have had about 50
Grealish.
passes.
Yeah, it's hard to know whether these substitutions that are about to be made now, Connor, it's hard to know whether this is a true attempt to try and get back into this game or a write-off because of Chelsea in midweek and Arsenal, next Sunday.
But there's a call to indicate the answer to that is it's just Mahrez. Good feet. Van Dijk puts it out for another Manchester City corner.
Ooh, corner, City. It's just funny.
City doing everything with more ease and less urgency now. And again, it's Mahrez with his silky skills.
There's three, and I think there'll be another one. Liverpool will wait surely until after the corner to make the substitutions. Floated in by Mahrez, headed by Virgil van Dijk. And Grealish happy to allow it trickle out, knowing it would be a Manchester City throw. He's had a very, very good game today. A player who has grown and matured under Pep Guardiola's guidance. Next break in play, and Liverpool will make their multiple substitutions. Alvarez.
Oh, I was lucky.
Slipped by Gundogan. Henderson. Robertson. Now is chipped off. Edison, very aware of the danger anyway, flag belatedly does rise. So this gives Jurgen Klopp the opportunity to make this quadruple substitution. First of all, Tsimikas, who went off injured for Greece in recent days against Lithuania. He will come on to replace Andy Robertson. Robertson, who celebrated his win over Rodri in an international shirt on Tuesday, but its roles reversed today. Diogo Jota goes off to allow the introduction of Darwin Núñez. You asked the question, Jim, whether this was wrapping people in cotton wool ahead of Chelsea on Tuesday. This might be a big indicator. Mo Salah makes way for Roberto Firmino. And Harvey Elliott is the player who makes way for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Yeah, and based on the way they've just set up now, obviously the 9 is playing in the 9 position for Firmino, and Núñez, he's tucked in at the moment, but he may play from the right. Gakpo is certainly now left side.
Bad touch.
Mo Salah has once again scored against Manchester City, but it feels like today it is not going to be enough to earn any points for his team. 2 goals against Manchester United, the 7-0 game. Tally for the campaign up to 23 goals now for Mo Salah. Most strikers will be absolutely delighted with that, but such are his extremely high standards. He will have wanted more.
Yeah, they've gone to a 4-2-3-1 now. Henderson's back with Fabinho, and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain playing from the right.
Liverpool in pursuit of a lead that feels increasingly unattainable. Manchester City in pursuit of a 3rd successive title with Arsenal kicking off against Leeds in what, about an hour from now. The gap could be down to 5 points at kickoff.
Oh yeah, it's Arsenal.
Grealish. Manchester City would love to inflict a bit of further pain.
Arsenal playing, aren't they?
There wasn't a bad ball in it all from Mahrez, but nobody to pounce on it, and Alisson clear it.
Well, Grealish is becoming a much bigger fish in a bigger pond.
Manchester City's frustrating opponent in scenarios like this, when Liverpool desperately want the ball, City are so comfortable at keeping it.
I mean, we saw an outrageous pass from Ederson just a short time ago out to that right flank, which was quite incredible. I know he's got one or two wrong today, but he gets a lot right.
It's nice from Rodri to De Bruyne. Encourages a catchy forward. Now Mahrez. Alvarez had made the run. If it does stay like this, today will mark Pep Guardiola's 100th Premier League home victory.
I mean, that's basically City's job. They can attack maybe with less urgency now, and just keep the ball, make Liverpool chase it.
Basically, play keep ball. That's all they've done is play keep ball. That's funny, fuck.
Still plenty energy in the legs. Jack Grealish, he's deserved that today.
Jack Grealish still scored 4-1.
From Manchester City's number 10. One of the best he's played since joining the club. And even in the absence of Erling Haaland today, the goals flow and flow from Manchester City, leaving Liverpool not knowing what has hit them today.
Well, there was always a chance of the scoreline being heavily in Manchester City's favour, and so it's happening.
It's only his 4th Premier League goal of the season, but a player who's got a smile on his face these days, who is accentuating the positives, and who was a very fully operational part of this Manchester City machine.
3 great operators, Gundogan to the left side, then De Bruyne, giving it back to Grealish after Grealish picked him out. And it is a lovely finish. Jack in the box.
And a particularly significant moment this, because that is Jack Grealish's first home goal for Manchester City here since 2021. Crowning glory for Pep today. No doubt about the outcome now. Bring on Arsenal, bring on the title race to come. Manchester City are going to pursue the leaders right to the very end.
So we're not quite finished the 9th game, but it's 34 goals now for Manchester City at home.
They absolutely know how to turn the screw. You always know it's a good day for Manchester City when they turn their backs and they link their arms and they dance the Poznan. Victories against Liverpool, always very special for Manchester City.
Well, the scoreline depicts the difference between Manchester City and Liverpool this season. The Etihad shakes.
Yes, our commentary gantry here is properly vibrating under our feet. And as the Manchester City fans jump and sing and party and celebrate, there is work to do to attain the big targets they have this season, but today the target was to beat Liverpool, and Pep Guardiola's side are about to accomplish that in style. And for Liverpool fans, from the ecstasy of beating Manchester United 7-0, that has not been followed up, and this is set to be a third disappointing result in a row since.
Well, I think the big surprise is going to be the 8th away Premier League defeat this season. You wouldn't have even considered that at the start of the campaign.
Mahrez looking to inflict more pain. Liverpool have had the biggest discrepancy between points earned at home and points earned away of all teams in the Premier League this season. And all this after leading up until, what was it, the 27th minute or thereabouts. Darwin Núñez being brought on to try and salvage things, but it feels a very much lost cause now for Jurgen Klopp. Look at that. Second half, one shot from Liverpool. Against Manchester City, that's never going to be enough. Manchester City can enjoy it now. Rodri. For all the goals that Erling Haaland has scored this season, and there have been an awful lot of them, 42 in all competitions for his new team. It's never been all about him. Some of the parts of Manchester City bigger than any individual, and today the best example of that. The Norwegian, for all his prowess, has not been missed. We'll be delighted to have him back, but it's reassuring for Pep Guardiola to know it's not the end of the world should he miss other games. Grealish, gliding gracefully. Liverpool can't get a touch.
He had to wait because he knew De Bruyne had run offside.
Nice ball, Mahrez. Alisson's off his goal line. When Liverpool are in this sort of passing mood, they want the ball, chasing, working so much energy into the pursuit. Maybe Gakpo might get it here, no. It's going to be disheartening for any visiting team at the Etihad.
Liverpool being outplayed in the second half, absolutely outplayed. City have dominated.
Completely disheartened their opponents.
I think it's been really clever game management in the second half, because once they got the two goals that put them into that 3-1 lead, they've been able to kind of go about their game in a casual, clever way.
Both teams are preparing to make late changes here into the last 10 minutes of normal time. Grealish. Gundogan. He's been so neat and tidy today. Okay, Gundogan. See one of your screen there. James Milner, former Manchester City player, about to come on for Liverpool, and Bernardo Silva, who's got 3 goals against Liverpool the last 5 seasons. He's going to get a late cameo here for City.
Yeah, and Rodri, to be fair, I think he settled himself down and he was never at risk of a second yellow card, but you never know, and I think that may have something to do with it.
Point. Here is Jack Grealish looking to put the icing on the cake. Anderson spreading his broad chest in front of it. This is Mahrez. Really isn't toying now. Rodri. Blocked by Oxlade-Chamberlain. Played off Simicast for a Manchester City corner.
I mean, again, this was met beautifully. It's all about the timing on those volleys, but Alisson was well placed to deal with it. There's great power in that.
Nice technique on that one. James Milner will come on. Cody Gakpo makes way. 21st game of his 21st season in the Premier League for the 37-year-old. Today he moves alongside Frank Lampard on 609 Premier League appearances. Only Gareth Barry and Ryan Giggs have played in more. And then Bernardo Silva, who scored in both games for Portugal during the international break, will come on for Rodri. Bernardo Silva scored against Liechtenstein and Luxembourg. Manchester City on easy street now today, and they will enjoy the closing stages of this match. The corner will be taken by Riyad Mahrez. Gets it back from De Bruyne. Mahrez did well to stay onside. And Bernardo Silva almost in for what would have been a very interesting first touch.
Yeah, the little fellow almost got his head to it, but he ended up just having a little nudge with Alexander-Arnold and the ball sailed over them.
It's of course to be an emphatic win for Manchester City. It is of course to be another low point in a disappointing Liverpool season. And there is much rebuilding and restructuring to be done. There's set to be a defeat, another reduction of the possibility of Champions League football next season, which could be so key to that rebuilding and re-improvement that is needed at Anfield. If you get in the top four, it's going to be difficult to attract the really big names.
Yeah, well, Jurgen Klopp spoke about it in his pre-game presser when he commented on the fact that there is going to have to be a considerable spend in the summer and a strengthening.
Every pass being cheered now in a Mancunian accent. And these cheers will be very painfully received from the Liverpool contingent. Many of the Liverpool fans have made their way towards the exits already. They've seen enough. It's a statement of intent from Manchester City that they are ready for a very strong end to the season. Mahrez. In the absence of Erling Haaland, Manchester City are about to bring on a replacement striker. It'll be Cole Palmer getting ready for his introduction. This is Simicast. Kept in play by Mahrez. Kevin De Bruyne. Alvarez. De Bruyne again. Alisson trying to get back into position. Gundogan just couldn't stretch. Maybe Bernardo Silva. Grealish. Manchester City players queuing up, but they couldn't get it. Grealish ghosting his way through. It was a clever idea. He was unlucky. This is a Kanji. De Bruyne. No rest for the Liverpool defence.
Yeah, and City are in a position where they can try the little flicks and tricks. We nearly saw it cleverly working out for Grealish then.
Given away by Oxlade-Chamberlain. Here is Jack Grealish. What a game he's had.
Well, when you look back at that chase back, when he got in the way, that played its part.
Absolutely, that was when Manchester City were 1-0 down at the time. That was just before they scored their early equaliser, City. A match that Manchester City trailed 1-0 in. They are now strolling towards victory with a 4-1 advantage.
Yeah, more of a contest first half, more of a conquering second half.
That was the key goal, was it? 52 seconds after the break. What a blow for Liverpool, and they've never recovered from that. Titles to pursue. Other conquering moments to be had, but Manchester City will enjoy these closing stages now. Diaz.
It might take Palmer some time to get on here because possession is being held.
He's got to wait for it to go out of play.
MJ. You're right, Jay.
Kanji looking for Alvarez. Shall he love another one? Good strength from Kanate. Draws the foul too. That'll be a free kick to Liverpool, but Jack Grealish is going to be the player taken off here, and it has been a man of the match performance from Manchester City's number 10. Unstoppable today. Manchester City fans will hope for more of the same. Look at that for a repeated pat on the back from Pep Guardiola for a job.
Oh, right, you got the goal. So I'm just trying to see if I can bloody see the bloody thing.
Jack Grealish, there's nothing else really to say on it. He's been top man.
How are you, my lord? I'm all right. With the bloody COVID, yeah, proxy thing, isn't it? Yeah, it's shit, isn't it? COVID.
He's quite the character as well, isn't he? Grealish.
Are you feeling any better though? You feeling any better? Or?
Despite the enormous sums, it increasingly looks money well spent.
Yeah, well, good.
Liverpool about to fall for their fourth.
Joshua's boxing tonight, isn't he? Joshua's on tonight.
Never fully satisfied. Pep Guardiola always believes there is something that could have been done better, and this guy knows an awful lot could be done better.
Oh, I need lube. Back in a minute. Back in a minute.
Time being added on. 3 minutes to go.
Hold on, I'll just put it there. Let's put it there. There we go.
Between the teams.
Back in a minute.
Alvarez slow to get back up to Eastleigh. That's all that would dampen the City mood would be if one of their players picked up an injury here.
Well, the fact that he's holding the back of his thigh is not a good sight. Yeah, he was cutting a red sandwich then.
Such a comfortable closing period for City, but they didn't always have it their own way in this game. Having to come from behind for that early Mo Salah goal. But since then, Alvarez, De Bruyne, Gundogan, Grealish, the goals have absolutely flowed. That's Oxlade-Chamberlain trying to create a A late improvement of mood for the visitors, but no problems for Edison.
But again, it's great work.
Hold on. A mate of mine just wants to come on camera. 2 secs.
Gundogan's in with him, and he got back to get a deflection on that to the keeper. And the Liverpool end is sparse now. They've seen enough.
Only 30 odd miles as the crow flies from the Etihad to Anfield. And he will see home comfortably in time for tea. On this disappointing season, some of Liverpool's high points have been when they've come up against the high-profile opponents, beating City earlier, beating Manchester United, that 7-0 game so recently, but not today. Palmer. Diaz. Here is Gundogan. What a good game he's had too. Mahrez, who's enjoyed wide open spaces so regularly. Just clipped off Van Dijk. City are going to get a late corner here.
Yeah, I know I've referred to him already. You mentioned it just now, Conor, but Ilkay Gundogan. What a pro.
So he missed 3 Premier League games this season. He played under Jurgen Klopp at Dortmund. Ilkay Gundogan. And today he's got his 4th Premier League goal against Liverpool. Before today, they'd all come at Anfield. Here he is. Lovely balance. Back from Mahrez, and the referee has seen it off. If Manchester City do go on to win the title this season, they will look back on today as a very important stepping stone. It's 7 wins in a row for City in all competitions, despite Mo Salah's endeavours to give Liverpool the early lead. It became one-way traffic. Julian Alvarez stepping in for the injured Erling Haaland was to score. Kevin De Bruyne, only his 2nd in 14 Premier League games. Gundogan had a marvellous performance, but not as good as Jack Grealish, who was named as the player of the match. Manchester City looking full of vigour for this stage of the season. And for the first time this campaign, Pep Guardiola's side
taking on Leeds at home. Describe that second half from your former club, Sean.
Amazing. I think the way they came out, they started quick, caught Liverpool off guard early, and scored a vital goal. I was really surprised in Liverpool's second half performance, especially conceding a goal that early after having the first half that they did. But I think after that, City just got better and better.
Was it painful to watch from a Liverpool point of view?
Yeah, it was in the second half. Definitely, I thought it was a great game for a neutral. A great first half, an equal first half. And as soon as City got the nose in from it, felt like Liverpool pretty much threw their hand in. It was almost, they went out with a whimper in the end a little bit. But fair play to Manchester City. They look at a team that are on the up. They're peaking at the right time. They've obviously got the Champions League, got a big run in. All the big prizes about to be played for, and they're starting to hit their form.
Yeah, 7 wins in a row, all competitions for Manchester City. In a big game, have you seen Jack Grealish play better for Manchester City?
No, I haven't. I don't think I have. I think he was integral to everything today. You saw that in the first half, tracking back, winning the ball back then. So a couple of minutes later, setting up the goal. He seems to have got, like we were saying earlier on with Pep, he kind of brings players in, and then he gets them to watch what's going on, and then you plug them in. And like when you look at someone like Jack and what he does, no one else in the City side does what he does. He runs with the ball, he progresses the ball, he never loses the ball, and he's adding goals to that as well. He's very dangerous when he's in this form.
Much more to come. Big smile on the face of Jack Grealish. All the reaction from the Etihad, but the Premier League is off and running again with a bang. A 4-1 Manchester City win against Liverpool. A 5-game goal rush on its way shortly. What is Arsenal's answer to that? We will find out.
Oh, Arsenal, Leeds, Bournemouth, Fulham, Brighton, Brentford.
Palace, Leicester, Forest and Wolves.
Forest and Wolves.
Later on, Villa go to Chelsea. Tomorrow, Southampton, the bottom club, are at third from bottom. West Ham, Manchester United are away at Newcastle.
Woo! We got Newcastle.
United in the table, and the Premier League weekend is rounded off. Managerless Spurs in fourth at the moment are away at Everton. Remember, before those games kick off, only 4 points separate 12th to 20th in the Premier League. It's incredible, the scrap to stay in the top flight. And of course, that will feature heavily on Goal Rush. Leeds in 14th, perhaps have the hardest task of all, because they, of course, are away at Arsenal. But the Gunners know, coming into that dressing room now, that they will take to the field 5, not 8 points clear of Manchester City. From now on, they both have 10 to play. Liverpool, incidentally, stay 7 off the top 4. They played a game less than Spurs and a game more than Newcastle. Much more to come from Sean, from Ian, and from Michael. And of course, very shortly, we will be off to North London. He's smiling. Can he win 7 in a row with Arsenal at home to Leeds, with Gabriel Jesus back in the starting lineup? We'll be there shortly, but first, all the reaction to another 4-star performance from Manchester City. Clinical. They blitzed Liverpool in that second half.